Welcome to the internship program. I am Shubham Gupta from NextGen AI Frameworks Pvt Limited. I have 14 years of work experience in the fields of artificial intelligence, software development, and robotics. In this session, we will be setting up Python, Visual Studio Code, and virtual environment for Python project. So go to internship program page, scroll down. In week 1, click on read more button, open it, scroll down. You will find this link to set up Python virtual environment. So in this article, I have mentioned everything, the commands. Let us look at this article step by step. So first step is to install Python. It is very easy. Just open Google, type Python, go to python.org website, click on downloads, and you can download Python on your computer. But the first project we will be doing is human sounding text to speech. So I will recommend you to use Python version 3.9 for it. I will show you what I mean. If you go to Google, install Python TTS, then you will find this library. And if you scroll down further, you will find it requires Python version between 3.9 and 3.12, and this is version 3.12.5. So it will create issues. Go to Google and search for Python 3.9, download Windows or the operating system you want. Then click on this link. Then you will find these links. I will tell you the difference between x86 and x64 architecture. So the thing is, I have searched for x86 and x64 on Google. So x86 architecture supports 4 GB or less RAM. So if you have a new computer, then it must be having more than 8 GB of RAM. So in Python page, download 64-bit version, executable installer, save it. After the download, open it. Let us continue. One option you need to tick is add Python 3.92 path. I will tell you what it means and why it is required. So the first thing I will do is open CMD, write Python here. So it is not able to find the path where Python was installed. So this is what this path variable does. So select it. Do not go for default option to install Python. Choose customize installation. Click on next. Give the custom path for installing Python. Click on browse. I will install Python in D drive. Programs, Python. Then I will give the subfolder name. It should be relevant. For example, I am using Python version 3.9, so I will write folder name as 3_9. Click on install. Done. Python was successfully installed. Let us check. Open the command prompt again. Another way to open command prompt is From Start menu, command prompt. Now I will write Python. See, Python is working fine now. I will exit. Next step is to install Visual Studio Code. Go to Google. Search for Visual Studio Code. Click on download. Then based on your operating system, you can download Visual Studio Code. I am using Windows, so click on Windows. It will start the download. You can install the Visual Studio Code using this installer easily. After the installation, you will find Visual Studio Code in Start menu. Just open it. So let us see if Python is working or not. Open new terminal and write Python. So Python is working fine. So in next step, I will create directory structure where you can store the project. In my computer, I have two drives, C and D. In D drive, I will create internship folder. Then in this folder, I will create another folder, TTS for text to speech. So right click and open it with code. Now I will click on new file, give name main.py. Let us check if it is working. So print hello, save. So if you want to add Python support in this IDE, then you can go to extensions and search for Python. And you can install these extensions. Now open up terminal. So Python main.py. So it is working fine. And in the next step, I will be showing you how to create a virtual environment. Now I will set up a virtual environment. I will give you an example why you need virtual environment. So suppose you are working on 100 projects and you need to switch the Python versions again and again. For example, TTS is using version 3.9 and some project is using version 3.10. So you will need multiple version of Pythons. So to isolate the environment, you will require these virtual environment. I will show you how it works and what is the difference between native and virtual environment. So these are the commands to create a virtual environment. First one is this one. So what this command do is create a virtual environment and the directory name will be venv. So I will paste this command and click enter. You will notice new folder has been created with the name venv, and if you open the scripts folder, it will contain the Python. Now you need to select the interpreter, the Python you just set up as virtual environment. So this is the version. Please note I have multiple versions installed on my computer. So this is 3.12, but for this project I will use this one. So I have switched it. Now make sure you restart Visual Studio Code, and no instance of Visual Studio Code should be running in the background. I will just close it. Make sure so this one is also running. I will close it. Now all the instances of Visual Studio are closed. So Visual Studio, I will open it again. And in new window, TTS project. Okay, so let us see with the pip list which libraries are available. So virtual environment is working fine, but I will recommend to run one more command to activate it manually. This is the command. I will tell you what it does. So // is the current working directory, that is TTS, then venv folder, then scripts folder, and then activate script. So what this script does is it will gather all the things and activate the virtual environment. I will copy this command and run it. So it will show venv here. So this is how you create a virtual environment. I will tell you some very important things. Do not rename the folder once virtual environment is created. Your project will stop working. So this is TTS. If I try to rename it to TTS1, then my project will not work. The reason is in this activate script, the path to virtual environment is given. Do not try to change this path manually. It will not work because many files are dependent upon this virtual environment. So if you want to change the location, you have to again create this virtual environment using these commands. I will give you one workaround so that you can use this project without installing the virtual environment again on the other system. So keep this directory structure same for Windows, for other computer. For example, if you are setting up for your friend, then keep it in D internship TTS exact location, but it will work in Windows only, because in Linux path looks like something like this /home. So make sure you use this technique in Windows only. The best way to run virtual environment will be these two commands. And if you are using Visual Studio Code, then this is how you select the interpreter. Now let me check if my file is working, main.py. Yeah, it is working fine. So I will see you in next session. I will tell you how to set up a Bitbucket and Git repository. Have a nice day.